You guys can get more in depth about it there. Save that for another time because this is the Dreamhack Qualifier cast. And in the bottom right side of Runes of Saras, we have the red Zerg player, Team Liquid Snute.
In the top right, as the green Zerg player, it's Elazer.
So I like the control out of Snute. I like the read. I like the build. I liked everything out of Snute for that last game. I do, however, think that for Elazer's sake, it'll be really hard for Snute to catch him that off guard again.
Yeah, as we talk about going for mutas or maybe not. It is vertical spawns, so not the closest you can be. Of course, that would be horizontal spawns, you know, base to base. But obviously, the Overlord gets there first. It's kind of nice. See if they're going for an early pool. Neither one did. Snute did go for a gas pool first, shall we call it, which I believe is what he did last game too, on Dust Towers. But obviously had no trouble catching up in economy afterwards, as he actually won the game. But I do wonder also about Nidus Swarms. Could be a possibility. If Elazer expects you to go for mutas again, you can just kind of try and circumvent that and attack them before they're quite ready to take the attack, with a couple of queens as well. Might see some Ling Wars. I mean, Elazer, it all started to snowball, actually, before the mutas. It started to snowball with that Ling attack that he just wasn't quite prepared for, that had about 15 to 20 Lings too much. And that's what really lost him the game, or at least started him losing the game. And I don't know if Snute's going to be trying to replicate that success, or if Elazer would think that's a way that he could get an edge in.
Well, I mean, it does take a degree of like if these guys didn't practice together, they never played a match before, I don't think we'd see such passive games, to be completely honest. And I say passive very tentatively because it is, if you're not going for like a 12-13, 13-14, like the pool timing is very important to the way the matchup plays, and this it's not as all in as it normally would be, but this can still be very game-endingly bad depending on how this goes. Snute also sees those Banelings.
Yeah. So, yeah, the chance of him actually breaking Elazer is quite small. Sends his own Banelings in to try and just go walk up the ramp but just meet everything there, so it's actually kind of a wash completely, entirely. Snute was droning up behind that, so he's a little ahead in drones, but he doesn't need to worry about the counterattack that Elazer is seemingly investing into. Now, like, of course, the entire time, Elazer's Lings were all slow. Snute had a much faster speed timing, but he never really committed to a lot of Lings to really abuse that, and Elazer going for the Baneling so early really helped make up for his later speed timing too. Snute is going to go for a Roach Roar to the second gas, and I'm kind of feeling maybe an all-in here. If he stops drones these last 3 drones, then yes, but if he keeps droning, then I guess not. Elazer actually trying to catch up in drones, has about like 15 on the way, like 8 and 4 and 3. He's starting to save up Larva maybe? Kind of feeling it for Snute here. Elazer wants to scout something exactly like this, but the queens block him out, and that's really nicely done for Snute. He's going to send a drone over as he's making a lot of money to make a third base, but just simply won't drone it. And if Elazer saw the third base, it'd be kind of a fake. And if he gets in the main base, well, that'd actually be a lot nicer. He almost does.
So what has Elazer actually seen so far? Because, I mean, there was a degree of scouting.
Oh, he did see the Roachborn.
Okay. Didn't see the second gas timing, but not that big of a deal. It must have been that second lane that just got to stop the ramp and peaked up. Ravagers on the way for Snute, though, and I mean, I thought he was going to dedicate a little bit more to the Lings, but what's coming out now just seems like it's going to be fodder more than actual dedication. It's cutting drones, though, despite having a third base on the way.
Seeing the Roachborn is important, and just if it was a macro game, if Snute was not prepping this like huge attack with Lings and Roaches and Ravagers, because you want to know like if it's going to be Roaches in the first place, right, instead of Aspire, but also you want to know what time you might be wanting to look for a Roachborn too. If he had continued playing a little bit greedy and held off on the Roachborn, he might just die here to an attack like this. But certainly also seeing the actual units come out and across the map is also very important, and the Elazer has with that one Overlord, I think. Or no, actually, I think the Overlords died to the Ravagers. But, oh god. What is this? The Hammer Qualifier, best of 5, rock, paper, scissors. Donates $10. Okay, I can do that.
It's like what the loser gets bumped with a hammer?
I suppose, yeah.
Oh, nice bailing hits. Wonderful bailing hits. That removes all the fodder for Elazer. Now he's stuck with Roaches and Queens against Ravagers and Roaches. The Spine Hog is taken out immediately. Snute flooding with more Lings means he can get on top of these units and start just surrounding them. This momentum he's gained from this push is huge. And Elazer, who cares about that third base? Snute knows it too. He doesn't have to kill that base. He's got to kill the army. He's got to kill the Roaches. If they retreat to the ramp, they're going to get killed by the Corrosive Biles. This is looking really good for Snute. He's not exactly snowballed out of control yet, but this is a great attack for him.
Yeah. He does need, of course, his own fodder, so Lings are on the way, but he's prepping for a macro game behind this as well. So he's not droning quite yet, but he's getting a lair, he's getting an Evo chamber. If he's still in control, he might go ahead and drone up a little bit too, but actually 7 more Roaches are on the way, so seeing an opportunity to maybe end the game in a follow-up attack. Maybe accompanied by speed too. He's a little low on gas, as I guess, he's only on 2 gases the entire time. Did not go to a 3rd or 4th, and that might hurt him here. But he should be fine against the attack, the counter attack. And his next 100 gas might very well go into that Roach speed, and that will give him a lot of control over the mid game. All things considered, it's a fairly even game when you look at the numbers. But Snute was certainly scary for a moment there.
If he had squeezed out like 2 or 3 drones every now and then while that attack was going on, maybe he gets massively ahead. But, sorry, I just meant that. His attempt to go for a link counterattack simply wasn't going to happen. Now he's going to have to back up a little bit. Corrosive Biles on both sides of the field, not just Snute's.
Defensive advantage should really kick in here. We have about 30 more Lings on the way too for Snute. Really going to help provide that fodder.
It's not just defender's advantage, but it's who hits these Corrosive Biles. I mean, Snute just lost a Ravager. That's a lot of damage gone now. Elazer loses one too.
Where are those Lings? I know they're on the way. There they are now. Some Lings for Elazer are also starting to reinforce. Of course, getting the quickest unit out to run across Runes of Saras. It's pretty important. It looks like Snute is finally going to clean things up, and Elazer actually dips down a little bit in supply, a little bit worrisome in supply, but I think his own defensive advantage would kick in if Snute was a counterattack. But I don't believe Elazer ever started a lair or an Evo chamber.
Not only that, but I really like that Snute's kind of gone for that +1 to get ahead further. Like, he could actually get really greedy and drone. He could have also just tried to all in. I think the investment in weapon upgrades is actually going to be quite nice. Really beneficial a little bit later on. But spin the camera because you can't see the Lings fighting. There we go. In that little corridor, Snute wins that fight once again. And his third base, another attack. Corrosive Biles coming down top of the eggs. Going to try and keep these things from hatching. Kind of a funny priority to see, but it's like killing a roach.
Even if Elazer does not lose straight up here, his tech is starting to get really far behind, especially if Snute invests in his speed. Or just like right now.
Roaches get surrounded. The Lings are going to finish those off. And low amounts of Roaches. I mean, normally this dynamic happens 4 minutes in the game, not 9 minutes. But low amounts of Roaches versus high amounts of Lings. The Lings are going to win that every single time. Ravagers help with a couple shots above all this. And, of course, now he gets to that mineral line and those juicy, juicy drones.
GG.
Good game. Ladies and gentlemen, Snute